Okay, before I forget for the third time, let me just get this video out of the way. What I want to talk about is the multi-step process of how I feel when I visit my parents' house. You know, like the stages of grief or whatever. So this is like the stages of what I go through. So, first, I see the house, whether it's I Uber there or the parents pick me up and we go to the house. So I see the house. It's like it exudes this aura of hostility or whatever. So it's a sorry sight to look at, even from the outside, especially compared to the rest of the neighborhood. I was in a better mindset to film this earlier, but I wasn't able to film at the time. I just had the idea in my head. I was with someone else. So I'm trying. It's also like, what time is it? I don't know what time it is. Because you know what? The day in grade school that they taught us how to read clocks, I missed that day. I was sick. And I'm pretty confident that that's the reason I'm so slow at reading a clock. Because, you know, that developmental part of my life, like, I missed it. I was sick that day. So hold on, give me a second. It's 9:40. I think. It's 9:40 at night. Anyway. So, like, approaching the house, it looks bad from the outside. Then there's a gate, a small gate. It's a suburb house. And there's just stuff everywhere outside. Like, every time I visit, my dad proudly tells me the new thing he found on Craigslist or the new thing he found on Facebook, and he's proud of it because, like, oh, it was such a great deal or whatever. But it's like, Dad, you already have so much crap outside and you never use it. For example, he bought a big ass boat and he keeps saying, like, oh, I'm gonna fix it up and then use it. I know it's never gonna get used because, like, before this hoarding really started to happen, we have jet skis, and I've lived here my whole life and they've never moved. They always are here, and every time he mentions them, he's like, someday I'm gonna take those out, and it never happens. So, got jet skis, multiple bikes that no one bikes here. These people don't bike, okay? But it was such a great deal. And they don't even work. Like, I don't even know if they work. They probably used to work, but then they were left out so long that they get rusted and don't work, you know? Outdoor furniture, which is, they get it and it's nice, and then it rains and then it's bad because they don't maintain anything. Outdoor furniture, umbrellas, that huge boat that's just like the jet skis, like it's never going on the water. Like, every time he says, someday I'm gonna put it on the water, we'll all go. It's like sad because it's never gonna happen. Like, I know your track record, Dad. What else? Weeds everywhere. Plant litter everywhere. I forget the name of that again. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it well. It's just, it's decrepit, you know? Falling apart, decaying. The infrastructure, and then all this stuff. Like, he's got a random, huge, like, gas tank canister or, like, propane thing that's, like, half leaning over. Like, it looks really heavy, and it's just leaning over, like, ready to roll and fall. And he has, like, some portable outdoor fireplace that he always gets the thing, uses it once, like Like, so he like prepares it for when I come over, or when people come over, and he's like, look what I just got, and it's all set up, and he's so like focused on that one thing that he just got that he doesn't realize, like, but look at everything else, you know? Look at where like, I'm not explaining that well. So for another example, when I came over this time, he was so focused on the Christmas decoration that he set up, which was like little houses that light up. And he said, yeah, me and mom put this together, and mom put the wrapping, it's like a tissue paper, like wrapping paper, tissue paper that's white and it's glittery, so it looks like snow. So we put that down, and then you put the little houses on and they light up. And he's like, isn't that great? Like, showing me, and I'm like, what about all the other shit that's like right next to it and around it and above it and below it? And like, he's so focused on the one little thing, and he ignores everything else. Like, it's really myopic, figuratively speaking. So there's that. So that's what it's like to approach the house. The backyard is terrible. It's just like an abandoned place. Like, it's overgrown, weeds, vines, and just trash everywhere. Like a junkyard. It's a junkyard. That's what I'm trying to say. Multiple duplicates of everything. That's a common theme in this house. But try to go chronologically. Like, so like, there's multiple Weber grills or whatever, same exact model outside, and they never get used because there's nowhere to use them. Anyway, so that's the outside, and then you get up the steps and you open the door. Well, the door mat, it's raining, and it was just soaked. Like, it was like, oh, this is a disgusting doormat. Like, my feet were sort of dry, but if I step on this, I'm making my feet more wet, and then I'm gonna step into the house, you know? And then you enter the house, and you're greeted by this really terrible smell. And that smell, for me, lasts a day or two, and then I get nose blind. So you're greeted by this smell, and you're greeted by darkness, because every time I come back here, there's another light that's burnt out and not fixed. You know, they never, if it's broken, they don't fix it, and it's just gonna keep happening like that. That's how it goes. So it's really dark. It's really smelly. It's like a cave. It's like some little gremlin's cave here. And and like, you know, I come home with both of them, but like, if I go out and then come back and I want to check on who's awake and not, usually one of them or both of them are like on their bed, which is just a terrible place, or on the couch, which is a terrible place, and they just just blend into the environment with how sad it all is, you know? Like, if you had to like put my parents in a lineup with strangers and match them to, like, take a picture of their room and match it, like, I feel like you would pick out who lives there. It's very, I don't know if I'm saying this right. So there's that smell. It's dark. And so like I get here, I want to keep all my stuff clean. I come here for the holidays, and sometimes I get clothes, so I want to keep them clean. And if I'm on long trips, I bring a lint roller with me. But like, this lighting and the lighting out there, if you want to like see what you're doing for anything, like, you can't. It's too dim. And like, I feel like that's something they hide behind, or like that's contributing to this, because it's easier to ignore their surroundings when it's all dark, you know? What else? Usually when I first get home, then I want to go straight to the bathroom. Or no, usually I'll drop my luggage off in this room, my old room, and every time I come in here, it's more cluttered. But my mom makes an effort to keep this bed clean, like, because that's the one space that I need, you know? Like the minimum, the bare minimum. So I'll, like, what, you know, I don't want to check it out and I don't want to be overwhelmed, but this is the first environment that I'm like, okay, this is where I'm gonna be staying, and it's a lot to take in. And then I usually go to the bathroom and I'm like, okay, this is how bad the bathroom is now. This is the new thing that's broken. Or this is the state of things, you know. Lots of duplicates of things in the bathroom and in the kitchen. Like, multiple soap containers, multiple cleaning containers, multiple paper towels, like, just out, sprawled out. Like they forget what they just bought. And then I'll be in a good mood when I first get home, because it's like, okay, I'm home for the holidays, yay. Go to this room, drop things off, go to the bathroom, and then I'm ready to socialize for a while, so I'll go see them. And they'll usually have already retreated to the bedroom, so I go in there and see how bad it's gotten in their bedroom. It's like I just watched this movie last night. I've seen it multiple times. It's Idiocracy. And you know, the trash mountain and how it like collapses. It's like that in there, but with clutter. Trash too, but clutter mostly. Like, I don't know how she got those piles of paperwork and trash and boxes that high, but that does not look stable. That looks like it's gonna tip over any minute, and there's like multiple areas like that. It's like all piles of materials. And then like I need to make another video because I want to talk about what I've already told them and talked to them about and expressed. And one of the things is I like feng shui. I like the idea of it. I like the elements that go into that, like the basic ones. And even back like 10 years ago, I was looking into it, you know, just learning what is feng shui and all that. And one of the things I remember is don't share the same wall and direction of your toilet as your bed. So if you sit down on your toilet and you're looking one direction, put your bed and like the walls behind you, that wall, however far it goes, don't put your bed on that wall and don't rest your head. So like if I'm sitting on the toilet like this, then don't like go to the next room and still be in this position, but lay down. Like that's like a big no-no in feng shui, and I believe it. And to back up my evidence, like I've slept on my parents' bed before. It is creepy. It is disturbing. I don't like it at all. And you know, maybe that has to do with feng shui, whether indirectly, directly. Like feng shui itself, I think there's a lot of scientific reasoning behind that for psychological clarity. Like, you know, I think in an earlier video I mentioned like clogged arteries, like the way this network, this transport system, like how you walk in this house, is very clogged. So I think it reflects what's going on in here or in here, because they're not healthy in what they eat. and I don't think they're healthy in what they think. So I see them in their environment, in their bed, and it's really sad. So then I want to, like, that's when my attitude starts to plummet. You know, seeing them comfortable in that type of environment, it disturbs me. Like, it shocks me. Like, how are you comfortable living like this? And let me try to describe it more. So there's like the piles of trash that could fall over at any minute. There's just so much stuff that that needs to be thrown away. Like, why are you keeping that? It doesn't make sense to me why you're keeping that. Don't keep that. All it's doing is cluttering the space. And it's distracting. And it's not peaceful in here. There's no peace in this environment. It's not good to look at. And you look at this every single day. What else? The TV is always on. Always. So whenever I'm home and nobody else is, first thing I do is turn off the TVs. And okay, the first 2 days here are pretty shocking for me. And, you know, this is a new record for me. I assimilated in 2 days. So it took me 2 days to, like, become nose blind and feel comfortable enough to take off my shoes. Like, oh, it's not that bad in here. I can take off my shoes, and my socks are now really filthy. But, like, it, like, takes you over. Like, I feel like the longer you live here, the more you assimilate into this. Like, you adapt, and you have to change the way you think in order to survive in this environment. I was more eloquent this morning. So yeah. And then there's like, and then the family dynamic usually, like, so it takes 2 days to stop being shocked, or that's what it was this time. And then like days 3 and 4 and all that, I'm like assimilating. I'm like, okay, just don't look at that. Just go straight to, like, don't be out there as little as possible. Stay in here, because this is where my little comfort zone is. Like, the bed is clean. I can eat. I can watch entertainment in here. I have my clothes in here. I have clean things. I have my stuff in here, and it's not going to be dirty. And it's a place to escape. And as long as I stay in here, it's okay. I won't go too crazy. But then after like day 3 and 4, it's like, then it catches up to me, like the family dynamic, because it's not just the physical, it's like their relationship with each other. It seems like everybody, the 2 parents in this house, resent each other. And there's always like finger pointing, and nobody wants to take blame for their own actions. It's always he said, she said, it's her fault, she does this, he doesn't do this, blah blah blah. And then you throw my brother into the mix, and it's this whole thing. So then, you know, after days 3 and 4 of that, I really crave alcohol. And I'm on my last beer right now. Hold on. And luckily I have a friend out here, my best friend. She lives out here, so she's a lifesaver, because I can just go over to her place, you know, to literally get away. But sometimes she's unavailable, or I'm feeling too depressed now that I'm back here that I just don't want to interact with her. Or, you know, I'm an introvert. I can handle a few days with other people, but, you know, I need a break from her regardless. So I've been craving alcohol, and I finally got it for New Year's night. So that helps. Alcohol certainly helps dull the the feelings of frustration and stir craziness. And also, I haven't even mentioned that they have a cat and a turtle, and I don't want to get into that because it just makes me really sad. So I'm not going to get into that. That's another thing I have to ignore. Like, I don't know. They must be ignoring and shutting out so much stuff because I can barely do it. And I don't even live here. And I'm already like, get me the hell out of here, you know? So this is, let's see. I got here on the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, 1st, 2nd. So it's been 9, this is day 9. Last time I was here was like 2 or 3 months ago, and I spent 14 days here. That time, by day 14, I was fully assimilated, and I'm like, oh, I could live here. But I was gone, you know? I was like snapped into it, you know? And after I flew back home, it was like the spell was broken, and I was like, holy shit, you know? They got me. Like, that environment was like pulling me and sucking me in. So it's day 9, did I say? Luckily, I'm not staying as long as I did last time. Nearly as long, but not as long. And I have alcohol this time. Because when I get here, oh yeah, and last time I was here for the 14 days, I was not doing well. I'm doing well this time, considering everything. But last time I was like, by the end, I just said by the end I was assimilated, but it was really rough. The first week, I was like, I'm just gonna go to Starbucks as soon as it opens and stay there all day, because I'd rather sit there in a chair and stare at my laptop than be in this environment. So there's that. I haven't had the feeling to do that, but the point is, like, the longer you stay here, it's harder to, like, all your creativity and ambition, mine goes away. Like, at the beginning, I'm like, oh, where I am now, like, they live in a suburb, it's low, there's so much stuff to do, it's so convenient, it's so close by, we could walk there, we could drive there. And so when I fly out here, I have all these ideas, like, oh, I don't have this back home, let's do this and that and that. But in this environment, in this household, it's difficult to move, like, literally and mentally. Like things are hard to do here because it's so constricting. There's no room for thoughts. Like, it's hard to describe. And also, like, I wish I can convey this properly, but like, the drive to do fun things disappears, and I just feel like holing up in this room and just waiting for it to all go away, you know? I just wait it out. And really, like, growing up here for like 19 plus years, probably more. No, maybe 19. It was just this feeling of just waiting. And I think that's a good description of it. Like, I'm just waiting for this all to pass, because it's like their main clock has been broken for like over 10 years, and it's like ever since it broke, time has stood still in this environment. So it's like, I don't know, it's like some magical cave where everything that enters here slowly, like, stops in time and stops working and stops moving forward. And I actually, this time I tried to fix their clock. I like I was like, oh, it just needs batteries, but it's like broken. I don't know how a clock can break if it just needs new batteries, but it's broken. And like, you know, when I visit, like, I love these people, I care about these people, so my brain naturally wants to find a solution. And the longer I'm here, the more I realize there is no solution. Like, it's like a way to cope. Like, I thought, oh, if I fix the clock, this spell will be broken. You know, if like maybe that's it. Maybe that's the source of all this. Like, maybe there's got to be a source, or maybe it's the TV. If I smash the TVs with a hammer, the spell will be broken, and they'll be forced to not be distracted, and they'll look at their surroundings finally, because everybody's always looking at a TV here, and that's a coping mechanism I learned to use too. Like, it's impossible to live here without being distracted by some sort of media, because as soon as you look up and you realize where you are, I go crazy. So like, if it's not the TV, maybe there's something in my mom's belongings that she needs to let go. You know, my brain, I need to like reason this through, and that's just, I know, like, that's probably not reality. Like, that's why I go back to you know, I've been trying to reason this for like 19 years or so, and that's why in the last video I say, like, the only conclusion that I can think of that is realistic is burning the house down, because nothing else is gonna work. And a sidetrack to that, before I forget, is curses. Now, I don't, if I believe in a curse, it's because of this one thing that occurred in my life, in my adult life, back where I live with my husband. We've okay, let me get this out. So I have a bike. My bike's great. My husband wanted a bike, and I wanted him to have a bike because where we live we can bike. It'd be nice to bike around. So like 3 years ago, when I came home for the holidays, my dad said, oh, I found this bike for your husband, you can bring it back with you. So, and he got it, he's like, oh, I got a great deal on this bike, and I fixed it up for you, and blah blah blah. So I shipped it. I flew with it. I did the thing where you tell the airline I have a bike, and you know, it was very complicated, it was heavy, I had to do it myself. Anyway, so my dad boxed it up, he gave it to me, and it went all the way to where I live, about like 2,500 miles away, I don't know how many. We opened the box, and the pedals are missing, and naturally I feel in my heart that my dad forgot to put in the pedals, but I didn't say that. When I told my dad, he's like, oh, it was TSA, and I was like, yeah, it's probably TSA, but in my heart I feel like he forgot to put the pedals in, because he's forgetful. I've seen he's forgetful. Like, I lived with this person, and when I visit, he is forgetful, like things. But anyway, that's not an issue. I'm just pointing it out. So the pedals are missing. So we ordered I ordered new pedals on Amazon. We take it out for its maiden voyage, everything's great, and then the tire pops. So we had to walk the bike all the way home. So I ordered a new tire, and then the inner tube popped. Okay, so I ordered a new inner tube. So it's the pedal, and then it's the inner tube, And then that one we got it. We fixed it up, put the new inner tube in. We write it out again. The new inner tube pops again. So then we analyze it, and my dad had like messed with the input, the air intake valve. He changed it or something. He modified it. Or maybe it was my husband. I don't know. Something went on with the valve being modified, and it was the loose metal was cutting the inner tube. So then I bought a new rim for the bike because it was like sharp on there. So I bought a new rim. We get the rim, we get a brand new inner tube, and we have the tire. Take it out on the maiden on that voyage, it pops, or something. The tire itself pops. So then I get a new tire itself. We take it on another thing. It breaks again. Then the pedal falls off. Like one of the pedals is broken now. It's just gone. The solder came off or whatever. So it's just, it's one thing after the other. And then the icing on the cake was my husband did something really stupid. He went walking around without the lights on, and the spokes, those things, the metal gear that the chain sits on and wraps around, it's really spiky. He runs into that. His foot runs into that, and he breaks his tendons partially in his toe, in his foot. So after all that, I was like, this bike is cursed. I was like, you are not allowed to touch this bike. No one is allowed to touch this bike, because every time we touch this bike, something happens in the house or whatever, and I don't remember what happened, but like I told him, like, don't mess with that bike. And then I go out into our garage and I see that the bike has been moved, and I'm like, did you touch this bike? And he's like, yeah, I touched the bike. And like something had happened in our home that we had to fix. So that is like, I don't believe in curses, but that bothers me, that unluckiness, that series of events has been happening. So I tell my husband, like, do not touch this bike. Like, something is wrong with this bike. We should put this on Facebook Marketplace and advertise it as a haunted bike, as a cursed bike, because if curses exist, this is probably it. And I think we could get good money for this in that case, because I think someone would be interested in that sort of thing, especially if we tell them all that stuff. Anyway, the point is, this bike came from this house, and that creeps me out, and it bothers me. And I get like really weird vibes from this place. Like, I don't know if there's like a leak of some sort, like radon gas. I don't know what's going on here, but it needs to be burned down. Oh yeah, I was talking about like the stages of grief of being in this place. So something like that. So first 2 days, it's shock and terror, birdemic. And then 3 through 4, whatever, it's just, I already forgot what I said. But it's like, I still, like, I'm like, okay, at least I got this room. I got a space here. There's stuff to do, so even if this place isn't the best, like, we can go out. And then 5 and 6 and on, it's like, I don't want to go out. I just want to sit in bed and do nothing, because it's harder to do something than it is to do nothing. And I don't feel like going to those places, because I don't feel like taking a shower, because I don't feel like going into that bathroom, because that bathroom is disgusting. I don't feel like going out to get coffee in my pajamas, because my parents might be out there, my dad might be out there, and as soon as he like sees you there, he wants to make small talk or conversation, and it's like, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want you to touch me, I don't want you to hug me. I'm in my pajamas and I haven't had coffee yet, so I don't even like, I will just stay in bed and be hungry, and my stomach will growl and I'll be moody, because I'd rather do that than go out there, you know? So there's that. And then I want relief, so I'll either visit my friend or drink. Those are really the only two options I have, because again, like, it's the idea of just going out disappears. Like, there's some sort of mental trap that happens, like, you cannot pass go, you know? But you know what's funny? Like, tonight could be my last night, because my brother offered to house me. And, you know, I'm saying all this stuff, and the one thing I can't stand about my brother's place is he rents, and the hot water only lasts 6 minutes in the shower. So tonight I'm really like, do I want to stay here in this shithole? They got hot water, and I can take as long as a shower as I want. Or do I go into a much better, freer environment where, you know, my morale goes up, but I have to take a 6-minute shower, you know? That that's funny to me, because it's like, I might want to stay here, because that's how important a shower is to me. And I just like I always forget. I'm glad I didn't forget before I visited his place this time, because I always forget about that hot water thing, because he lives in a really cool place, a cool part of the country, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool, it'd be so cool to hang out with you and stay over. And then he hits me like the he'll be like, oh, so what are we doing tomorrow? And we plan it out. I'm like, okay, so you take a shower, then I'll take a shower. And then he's like, well, you know, the hot water it's only like 15 minutes, so if you're gonna take a shower, you should take a shower tonight. And then I'm like, fuck. And then he says 15 minutes, because that's what the landlord told him, but I timed it because I was so fed up with it. I was like, this is not 15 minutes, because I can take a 20-minute shower, so I know what 15 minutes is. It's 6 minutes of hot water. It's so infuriating that he's paying so much money and getting 6 minutes of hot water. Like, it's the worst thing. Because what am I gonna do? Like, I've soaped up my hair. Now it's like, it's at night, so it's cold. And I'll turn off the water and I'll just sit there in the shower with soap in my hair for like as long as I can manage. And I'm like, okay, we need to wrap this up. And then I turn on the water again and hope it's at least room temperature. It is the worst thing. So it's a real debate. Like, if this was earlier in that chronological timeline of stages of grief or whatever, like, I'd be like, hell yeah, get me out of here. But I'm already at this point, like, okay, I have alcohol, I can see my friend, I'm like slowly assimilating here as long as I have alcohol. So I can probably stay one more day. And you know, I'm probably gonna regret it. But I don't know, I haven't made up my mind yet, because that hot water thing really gets me. So I don't know. Did I answer the question? I don't know. I hope you understand this, because I'm not that tired, but like mentally I'm definitely not as awake and ready to talk as I was this morning with 2 cups of coffee. So thank you for listening to me. And that's what I have to say for now.